Here on the daily output. So we know that there are 24 hours in a day. So we are going to add up all of the output that the person has for the entire 24-hour period of time, and that's what we are going to be recording as the daily output. So that means any fluid coming out of the body is going to be counted. Now, it is normal for someone to have about 15 to 2,000 milliliters of fluid going into the body, and then whatever comes out of the body should actually be equal to whatever we're putting into the body. So our intake really should be very close or equal to our output. That's what we call fluid balance. So when we have intake that is a lot more than our output, the fluid coming out of our body, we know that the body is holding on to fluid and we are overhydrated. So we probably are going to see things like swelling and things like that. We've got a lot of fluid on board yet. If we have our intake is less than our output, we have a lot of output but not a lot of intake, we know that the person is going to be dehydrated. We need to push those fluids then to have that natural balance. So in order to figure out what our daily output is, we're going to take everything that we know is considered to be output and we're going to add that all up and then record that amount. So again, things we might think are going to be output. We have got urine is output, we've got diarrhea, we've got emesis, we've got drainage. All of those things are considered output. Okay, so if you look at this number 1 here, we've got different things listed with different numbers on here of different amounts. The first thing you should do is always ask yourself, okay, does this count as output for me? So does urine count as output? Yes. Does vomit count as output? Yes. Does drainage count as output? Yes. Now by drainage, I can mean that to be a lot of things. We have sometimes after surgery, they will put a drain itself into the body and it will drain the excess fluid from around where the surgery has taken place, and we have to empty those drains, and any liquid coming out of those drains is also going to be counted. If we have an NG tube and we have that hooked up to suction, we are going to get some drainage from our stomach. All of that is fluid coming out of the body. All of that would still be counted as output. So this drainage does not necessarily mean that it's going to be from a wound. It can also be from some of those other things as well. But any kind of drainage is going to be liquid coming out of the body that is going to be counted. So all I would need to do then is add up 1,000 plus 300 plus 500, and I would come up with 1,800 milliliters. Now, by all means, go ahead and use your calculator if you cannot do that in your head, or you can write it down in the side or whatever you would like. Okay, so don't think that you have to do all this mental math. You can go ahead and just use your calculator, that's fine. The second one, we want to ask those questions. Is this urine counted? Yes. Is drainage counted? Yes. I add up 1,500 milliliters, I add 200 milliliters to it, and I get 1,700 milliliters. Again, do not forget to label everything. You're going to go ahead and go down here and you're going to do all of those for those, and then again, I will look those over and make sure you have those. If you have any questions, please let me know. Let's go ahead and go on to the next sheet. This is going to have the same exact thing, so we're going to skip that one. That's all part of your do-at-home work.